Hello and welcome to the most popular speed characters as chosen by you guys, the BBS community. Thank you once again for voting, and please check out the link in the description below to vote for your favorite tech character. With that said, let's get started.
行くぞ。浮かれていられるのも今のうちだ。
そんなこと。
Starting things off at number 10 is the Machine Society version of Rukia, who despite being a seasonal character has one of the coolest weapons in the game. He's also got a pretty solid kit, with a really high SP and frenzy, as well as a plus 20 berserker. He's able to deal a ton of damage with his strong attacks, that can all inflict debilitating weakening, and that all have really good range despite not having havoc. He's also got a strong tech recharge link, so he's able to spam these attacks, and he's got guard break, which make him even faster than other characters with similar abilities. Plus it makes his normal attacks a bit more usable. He's only got a plus 20 bruiser and not that high of an attack, but when you don't have to worry about breaking guards, it makes autoing with characters like this a bit better. Now Ukira's always been a very popular character, give him a steampunk design, and it's no surprise that he ended up on this list.
出し惜しみはなしです。やれることは片っ端からやっていきましょう。波動の99、五竜点滅。
Next up is the Camp for Your Own World version of Kisuke, a character I certainly wasn't expecting to come out, but since Kisuke is my favorite character in the manga, you can bet I was happy he did. This Kisuke has a really high SP as well as frenzy, and he comes with both Bruiser and Berserker at 40, so both his normal attacks and strong attacks are going to deal an extra amount of damage. He's also got a boosted strong attack recharge link of 14%, and his strong attacks all have pretty solid range, despite none of them being full screen. His strong attack 3 is a charge move though, and since he has both Berserker at 40 and frenzy, it's going to deal a lot more damage than regular charge moves. Then we have his special. Not only does he have a plus 60 devastation, making his special deal a good amount of damage, but it also has a slight chance to instant kill the enemy, which is the most amount of damage you can possibly hope for. Finally, there's the fact that this Kisuke is completely immune to being frozen, which is just icing on the cake. Honestly, I'm really glad this character came out. It was about time we got a good Kisuke with a hat.
土俵を立てて弔うてやろう。恩師が二度と生まれてこぬよ。 天体殺量!
Coming in at number 8 is Ichigo, and where do I even begin with this one? I guess for starters, let's go with his attack. It's super high at 781, the third highest in the game, at least at the time of this recording, and he's got both Bruiser at 20 and Flurry. In addition to that, he's also got Poise, meaning he doesn't stagger, and he starts every mission with 10 barriers. This also applies to PvP matches, which is where this character primarily shines. Now in addition to starting with barriers, he's also able to pierce through them, making other characters' barriers useless. He's also completely immune to being paralyzed, and all of his attacks with the exception of his strong attack 3 are able to inflict weakening, though it's not debilitating. Ichigo has also got a damage reduction soul trait making him extra durable, and he's got an Espada killer, which if I'm being honest hurts him more than anything else. He basically came out as a Noi Tora killer and he definitely did the job, but while he is still good in PvE, he is a bit slower than most characters. Still, he's a monster in PvP and I'm not at all surprised to see him on this list.
挽回発火の咎めこれが私の残白刀の真の力だ
Next up is the 1000-year Blood War version of Rukia, who has a really high SP as well as frenzy. She's also got a strong attack damage link, and all of her attacks have a chance to inflict debilitating freeze, especially her strong attack 2 that's some sort of hybrid vortex move. We haven't really seen many of these strong attacks since or before this character, but it does hit more times than your average strong attack. This Rukia is also completely immune to being frozen. She's actually the first character to ever have a complete immunity to a status ailment in her abilities, so thank you Rukia for starting that trend. Finally we have her special, which is full screen and is guaranteed to freeze, but it also leaves Rukia behind with a vortex, which I should add is actually part of her special, since adding a Tenshintai will increase the damage. I'm honestly a huge fan of this Rukia's design, and since K-Lab is still doing 1000-year Blood War characters, I'm really hoping we get another version of her.
俺の中の力の全部これでてめえを倒す行くぜ
Next up we have the Quincy version of Ichigo, who has a really high SP, frenzy, and a strong tech recharge link of 14%. Now I'm a big fan of this character. He's not only an original design, which I love, but he's also got a pretty fun kit in my opinion. It's not the fastest by any means, but I do quite enjoy it. All of his attacks have a chance to inflict debilitating weakening, and his strong attacks 1 and 2 are particularly useful for it. His strong attack 1 shoots an arrow that pushes enemies back, hitting him multiple times, and is super useful for things like boss fights, and his strong attack 2 fires 3 arrows that at close range have a really high chance of inflicting weakening. This version of Ichigo also has Sprinter at 2, making it super useful to dodge specials. I would also say easier to finish a quest faster, but his strong attacks don't really work that way. This Ichigo is also immune from being frozen, and along with having a no affiliation killer, he's also a no affiliation character, which makes me curious if they're ever gonna switch him to Quincy, since the affiliation is now added in the game.
春光来獣戦人流国病戦記
Next up is my personal pick on this list, the 1000-year Blood War version of Yoruichi, who actually was at number 2 for like half the week. In fact, from number 5 to number 2, the difference was only 10 votes. So numbers 5, 4, 3, and 2 on this list were all extremely close. But back to Yoruichi. I've covered her many times on these videos before. She's got a really high SP and Frenzy, as well as a strong tech damage link. She can also inflict debilitating paralysis on all of her attacks, and they all have really good range. Because she is a Yoruichi, she also gets extra flash steps, so dodging specials and finishing quests fast isn't really a problem for her. Then we have her special, that is not only full screen and guarantees paralysis, but also leaves her behind with a vortex move that surrounds her, that is similar to Rukia's earlier in this video. Her special is a bit different though, since it completely transforms her, instantly recharges her strong attacks, and makes them hit 30% harder. It also makes her normal attack hit harder and gives her a much bigger range, though it's a bit harder to control. This transformation does last only 30 seconds, but after it's done, her strong attacks get recharged again. While she is my favorite speed character, I do hope we eventually get another version of this character, though hopefully that one stays in cat form.
挽回加点胸骨から松真珠これにて大詰め締めの段糸切りばさみ血染めの喉笛
And now we go from one of my favorite characters in the series to my favorite captain in the series, because at number 4 we have the manga version of Shunsui, who, like the previous 3 characters, also has a really high SP and Frenzy. He also has a strong attack damage link, and when combined with his strong attack 2, it can deal a whole lot of damage. This is because his strong attack 2 has a 160% mag, making it 40% stronger than your average strong attack. Though to get the most out of it, your enemy's gonna have to be either frozen, paralyzed, or pinned up against the wall. Either way, all of his attacks have really good range. He has Havoc at 20, so his strong attacks cover a wide area, including a strong attack 3 that at this point is beyond full screen. He's also got long reach at 20 and a 30% bruiser, making his normal attacks actually viable. And to top it all off, his special has a chance to instant kill. It was also once voted the most popular special in the game, though we'll find out if that still holds up in about 2 weeks.
暑かったら言ってくんな別に塗る気しやしねえけどよ天才戦ケンタ
Next up is without a doubt one of the strongest speed characters in the game, Tenjiro. He not only has a high SP and Frenzy, but he's also got Havoc at 20 and Berserker at 20, meaning his attacks have more reach and do more damage than your average strong attacks. He can also inflict debilitating paralysis on all of his attacks, and they come back faster thanks to his strong attack recharge link. In addition to this, Tenjiro has an ability that increases the strong attack damage from any speed Soul Reaper by 20%, and since this includes himself, he basically increases the damage of his strong attacks by 40% on his own, and then they each hit twice as much thanks to Frenzy. Tenjiro also has Sprinter at 2, so he's able to dodge specials easier and clear rooms faster, and to top everything off, his special, in addition to dealing paralysis, also grants protection status to the team, bringing them back from the dead if they were to die anytime after. He really is a powerhouse with an unbelievable amount of useful abilities, and it's no wonder he's so many people's favorite.
屍ともしばし戦の優越をくれてやる天下の太刀南赤10万億士大王に
Next up is the 1000-year Blood War version of Yamamoto. Like most of the characters on this list so far, he also has a really high SP and Frenzy. He can inflict debilitating burn on all of his attacks, and thanks to his strong attack recharge link, he's very likely to do so. Yama also has very good range on his strong attacks despite not having Havoc, and his special, in addition to guaranteeing burn and dealing a lot of damage, leaves him behind with a vortex move that surrounds him. While both Rukia and Yoruichi, previously mentioned on this list, can also do this, the range on their vortex pales in comparison to his. which takes up most of the screen, though his, like theirs, is also a part of his special, not a separate strong attack, and is affected by Tenshintai and not affected by the Lieutenant's badge or strong attack damage links. To top everything off, Yama is also completely immune from being both burned and frozen. Honestly, there's a very good chance we're gonna see another iteration of this character, since we really only see this one use 2 of the 4 directions in Bankai. Now before I get to number 1, I would just like to remind you guys to please check out the link in the description below and vote on your favorite tech character for next week's video. Thank you once again for voting, and here are a few characters that almost made it on this list.
針など触れるまでもないディスティーノ・アロガンテ。
ほな、行くで。逃げても無駄や。僕の炎はしつこいで。一瞬で終わらせてやる。無月。見せてやるぜ。俺の力のすべてを。この一振りで型をつける。月が天使。
全部まとめてぶっ壊してやるっての。私の新エクスプロードでね。
And finally at number 1 we have the Exploder, Bambietta Basterbine. First of the Sternritter in my top 10s, and one of the most popular ones to be anticipated whenever the Quincy's were announced. Let me tell you, she did not disappoint. Bambi is currently tied with the highest SP in the game. She's also got Frenzy, Berserker at 20, Havoc at 20, and an ability that increases the amount of damage dealt to burnt enemies by 20%, whether it's strong attacks, normal attacks, or special. And it's very likely this activates, because she can inflict burn on all of her attacks, and she's got a strong attack recharge link. Now as I mentioned earlier, she's got Havoc. This pushes her strong attack 3 to be on full screen, and her strong attack 2 to very near full screen. But her normal attack is also very impressive. It's ranged, though that's nothing new, but hers is unbelievably fast. Certainly faster than any other ranged normal attack we've seen so far. Bambi also has Bruiser at 20%, and thanks to her other ability, if an enemy's burned, her normal attack does an additional 20% of damage. Honestly, the Sternritter that have come out have been really impressive, and I certainly hope they set a new norm to the kind of characters we're gonna get in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for some more top 10 lists.